did WUMMI, if a nurse came to the house and injected MOHBAD and MOHBAD reacted, why did WUMMI say they have killed him? Why not as a caution to other people? A nurse came to my house, injected my husband, and now he's gone. Okay. Why go through all those stuff? 1, 2. I'm going to cluster them together.
Just like 2. You, I would like to answer you one by one.
It's going to be all together because there are things that have been going on and on. 2 is, what is a lie? And why do people lie?
Okay.
That's it. Those are my questions.
If I am forgetting anything, please give me a nudge. Now, you said substantial evidence. Of what part of her statement, if in fact she actually used that word, right? Of what part of that would substantiate the evidence that she, in fact, was the buyer of her husband? If you can oblige me to, just so I can have a good understanding of your substantial evidence, how has that substantiated the actual evidence leading to the fact that she, in fact, buyed her husband? I don't have that understanding.
Now, number 1, MOHBAD made it home safely. She said they wanted to have, MOHBAD wanted to have sex. She declined. There was a fight that erupted. There was a profuse bleeding. Okay. In the house.
You've muted, but I can say that at this juncture,
there was a profuse bleeding. I didn't know it. This my phone is bad. It's always very sensitive. Profuse bleeding from the authority that they told us. So this is my theory. And I do not stand to be corrected. When you bleed profusely, I know, I'm privy, we all know MOHBAD is hypertensive.
Right.
MOHBAD's blood, MOHBAD's blood pressure runs in the 150s. From what we saw. I'll join back in a few minutes. Let me change my phone.
Okay. While you're charging up your phone, first of all, I would like to say this. First of all, right? At no point in time has WUMMI, not in court, not anywhere, used the word MOHBAD bled profusely. At no point in time has she admitted or said when they got to the house, they had a fight. What we tend to sort of misconceive the most is the usage of fights. There could be arguments, there could be fight. Fight is physical, but let's not go into that conversation. Now, having said all of that, at no point has she mentioned that they had a fight or MOHBAD bled profusely. These were statements used by the police, right? Okay, let's agree on that. Now, number 2, saying that, they have pied him, however way that statement was being put out there, none of us were in their lives up until the 12th of September 2023 to know what they have experienced. And her being the partner, she knew what she was referring to. And at that point in time where she was aggrieved by the death of her husband, you do not have manual. I have said this multiple times. You do not have manual of the right thing to say or the wrong thing to say. We tend to nitpick on every single word, which is why we are all here today. And honestly, it is quite disappointing that we don't, I don't want to use the wrong word now before anyone finds it insultive, but for better use of the grammar, we do not think outside the box and, think of other possibilities. We're nitpicking on what Wunmi must have said or posted at the time that where someone died unexpectedly. You have adrenaline rush through your brain. Anything could have been said at that particular point in time. So saying that, because she posted this and, you're hounding her with a choice of words or whatever post she made at that particular time, I personally think that was being unfair. That does not affirmate that she died her husband. That does not denote that she is the actual perpetrator. So what's been said does not take away the fact that MOHBAD had an issue at an event. He had an encounter with a particular individual. They had a fight, or he sustained an injury. What was the cause of that fight? How did it happen? He got home, a nurse treated him. It does not take away the things Wunmi said shouldn't take away the fact that this event happened. He was injected, he reacted to the injection, point blank, period. That shouldn't take away that fact. Your suspicion, okay, let's say Wunmi hired the nurse, Wunmi called the nurse came, they planned, it is totally different. It is totally different. So if you invite someone, a nurse came, okay, he sustained an injury, either he bled profusely or he was minor cut, it was this or whatever, this shouldn't have happened, it shouldn't have led to his death. Agreed. But however way, we have shifted and drifted away so far from the actual events that unfolded. It is the simple fact that he went to an event, he had an altercation, a physical fight perhaps, he broke the glass. However way, he had a cut, sustained an injury, a nurse was called. That is factual.
All right, I would like to contribute to this discussion.
Thank you.
Good day to the two ladies. I think where I joined was where you were talking about the case of O.J. Simpson. Number one, while O.J. Simpson's case is very germane, I don't think we should 100% liken the case of O.J. Simpson's murder of his wife to that of MOHBAD and Wunmi, because there are two clear activities that happened, and even though that of O.J. Simpson were the way it is, we could only infer and say, put it on a probability ground, but not on an affirmative positioning. Therefore, O.J. Simpson case, some element of it can be borrowed to say, if A does not happen, probably B route can be explored to get some level of respite regarding. However, we can't say, because O.J. Simpson eventually, the public believe, his friend believed he killed his wife. And when he was even jailed, he wasn't actually jailed on the murder of his wife, say to say. He was jailed because he was accused of robbery and all that. And we wouldn't say because of that, because in the public court, they believe he killed his wife, therefore he killed his wife, because the court of law never found an evidence to establish a prima facie that he did kill his wife. Let's put that aside. Now, if we come to Wunmi's case, for me personally, I don't think Wunmi should be affirmative to say Wunmi killed Mohbad. No. It could be inferred that Wunmi should have more information about what led to the death of Mohbad. There we can be exploring circumstantial evidences, not substantive evidences, because substantive evidences are hard fact evidences that you must be able to show. Circumstantial is looking into the old scenario that have happened and what led to what, and we began to infer and deduce. That itself now comes to better argument. Now, if we look at the circumstantial evidence, one can simply say that the matter should have been treated in a more better way, understanding a whole lot of things from the widow's perspective, understanding the attack, understanding various challenges, understanding his health status, understanding that in one of the wives interviewed, when she said, oh, this guy has even had depression, so to say, when she said, he's going through a lot of challenges and I have to be feeding him even like my son because of this challenge, understanding all that. And if something happened, yes, we could say it is human, because that could be excusable, that when it happened, her mind went back to all those challenges and say, oh, they have killed him. While she, jumped the aspect of the auxiliary nurse who came and injected him and he died. But this will always be argument on both sides. And everyone will always be right from the position where they are arguing for. But it will be right for us not to say substantively. It will be right for us to say circumstantially. This is what I think, which is also an opinion, because virtually all of them are not, we are not there when it happened. Every one of us, we are just inferring. It's just opinion. But when it gets to the court of law, it has to be with hard facts. And if it is circumstantial, it must be linked to something. And even if you say that is a suspect, you must establish that that suspect is linked to the evidence to have committed that crime. So as much as we are engaging ourselves and we are taking ourselves away from the headspace of emotion, it will also be engaging and interesting for us to begin to look at many cases the way they come. As much as cases might look alike, they are not actually alike, because everything is not under the same condition. But I would say, for me, is the widows would have done better. And these are the areas for me. Number one, whatever police says, just like Osha said, Wunmi never came out to say he bled profusely. They said he had injury. From Wunmi's accountant, it shows even after they got home, he's still much more in a good space. That is why they actually did not force him to go to the hospital. However, other things ensued. Just like Osha said, usage of fight is subjective. Many people say fight. What fight? It could be verbal, it could be this. It's very subjective. So more things has to be done to establish the kind of fight. However, if an auxiliary nurse comes into one's house, injected one's loved one, and that person was taken to the hospital under emergency, and the person was declared brought in dead, I think it will be right that even if it is 1 day or 2 days after, that matter ought to have been reported to the police, and such nurse should have been reported to the police. Wunmi might be in an absent mind. She was aggrieved. But people around them, what did they do to report that nurse? It took the intervention of the state and for the police to now declare the nurse wanted before the nurse came into the custody of the police. That for me is a big red flag. And to some people, it could be seen as suspicion. To some, it could be as an omission. But it's a big red flag that I think every one of us should learn from. Even when you are bereaved, your mind must be clear as to say what is very, very
was
important.
Never declared a wanted.
Okay.
Aristocrats.
She was never reported to the police until police came into it.
She was never.
Thank you. That is the point I'm trying to establish. Don't worry. Just let me finish.
No. Aristocrat, please. Aristocrat, wait. You
just injected what I'm saying. If you have corrected, no. Wait, Supreme. If you have corrected me that she was never declared wanted, I take to that, and I confirm, was she reported to the police before police came into it 10 days after? She was not.
No.
So just leave it at that. Leave it at that now, madam. I'm not interested in the mother. No. How many days after? How many days after? What did the mother brought her in? How many days after did the mother bring her in? Seal. How many days after did the mother bring her in? Let me continue. As I was saying, when that event happened, nobody in the house took it upon themselves that MOHBAD was dead. Nobody in the house, I'm not talking about the parents because they were not in the house. Nobody took in the house to come and say they reported that person. And that for me is a very big red flag, which for me will be probed under circumstantial evidences. Has to say, a nurse came, injected this guy, and with that recklessness, he died. So that is for me, I think, which we'll explore. Because it still comes to the fact that if it was a nurse that came to inject MOHBAD, even when people were saying it was his record label bosses or industry god that killed him, why did they jump the activities of the nurse until the matter was now taken over by the state? And it might be an omission or not, but this for me is things every one of us need to learn from, because if we want the law to come into cases like that, we must also give the law some support in a way for them to do proper investigation and for things not to be messed up. Thank you very much.
Osha, do you still want something to say? Sorry, do you still have something to say? Yeti Mama, are you there?
Sorry, I was trying to unmute my mic and it wouldn't.
Okay.
Aristocrat, thank you very much for your submission. And honestly, I feel that if we can all be objective with our submission and look at things like at different angles, and then there wouldn't be any need for arguments as much. In that, when you look at a case in one direction, don't be subjective and affirmative in your submission, because at the end of the day, there are several key factors that will lead you to your own conclusion as a person, as an individual. Because saying, throwing away the fact that some certain key events occurred leading to the death of this gentleman, and putting that aside and, creating theories based on our own belief, I believe that is That is wrong as an individual. I believe that we can all correct some certain things because we as people, we tend to sort of like create a story, conspiracies based on our own beliefs, and that has messed up a whole lot of cases. And this Justice for MOHBAD is one. The only reason I joined was, of course, to ask Supreme some questions, which she answered them to the best of our abilities. And I feel that honestly, we can do better as people. We wouldn't have gotten here if not for the fact that a bunch of people involved in this Justice for MOHBAD started with wrong narratives. They were not open to other options. They were not open to see things differently. They tend to sort of like, build their stories based on how they wanted the outcome to be. And that is why we're here. And that is why money has caused a whole lot of issues in Justice for MOHBAD. And that is the main reason why MOHBAD will never get justice. Irrespective of however we see it today, he may never get justice because of the problem we as people have created, leading to where we are at this point. There is no way, if everybody was open-minded, and that I'm not excluding myself, to be honest. If we were all open-minded towards this case, I'm sure a lot of things would have been achieved. We would have gone far if the interest of MOHBAD himself was at the forefront. Now it's all about money-making venture. You want to make money? Join Justice for MOHBAD. It is point blank, period. And it is really sad that...
Osha, I disagree with you. Osha,
Go ahead.
I disagree with you. The reason MOHBAD may never get justice is because his widow or his spouse does not want justice for her husband.
Can I ask you a question?
Hold on, I've only said one sentence. You've been talking. Then you can ask me, let me put some words in first. If that is my husband, Wunmi, if you guys were claiming the nurse, that should be the number one person that should have been reported to the police. I will disagree with anybody that tells me it was an oversight or she was in a state of shock. Whatever language you want to use for that, I will disagree completely. Hell no. She never reported it. Even the nurse mother, FEYI Shara or FEYI Shayo, her mother said, wow, why you minimum? I think after about 11 days. After MOHBAD was actually exhumed, if not more than 11 days, not prior. So what are we saying here?
So before the exhumation, were people involved holding for interrogation?
No, nobody did. Because this is part of the conspiracy. Okay, this is part of the conspiracy. Let me say something. Hold on, Osha. Stop interjecting.
Go on. Go on.
Today is the DNA case. Baba MOHBAD wants DNA from Wunmi. Wunmi is fighting with tooth and nail. Okay? If Baba MOHBAD had told her, release the nurse, she should have fought with tooth and nail. If she truly loved MOHBAD and she cared about MOHBAD, making release in us. No, hell no. MOHBAD, no, MOHBAD. Wunmi knows how to say no very well. Wunmi is strong-minded. I think she's probably a type A personality. Nobody tells her what to do. Wunmi controls affairs of a lot of people in that house. Wunmi is in charge of MOHBAD's finances. Wunmi is a strong girl.
Can I speak now?
Oh no, I'm still talking. Wunmi is not feeble-minded. She is not a timid lady. Wunmi is strong. Wunmi is very outspoken, just like me. And Baba Mohbad cannot control Wunmi. And he's still not controlling her. If Wunmi was timid and afraid, Wunmi wouldn't have made the call she made a while back. Wunmi will not be saying, no, me or she DNA say, I'm fighting with everything in her. She should have fought with everything in her to ensure that nurse was detained. Unless if it was not the nurse that came.
Now, please, let me just speak. Now, we're not talking about...
I'm having hard time muting and unmuting here. This thing, what it change?
Okay. Now, we're not talking about her being timid or not. At what point did the police carry out the investigation? Was it before the exhumation or after?
Okay.
No, let's start with that.
My sister, hold on. Let's take it easy, okay? I don't have much time anymore. I think this is when I'm doing it on my show. I have to go to bed now. But hold on. Now, good question. And I think if you will not interject me, I can speak for a minute or two.
Yeah, go ahead.
The question will have been best answered by Wunmi. Okay? It was after exhumation, everything came to light. It was even after exhumation, any investigation erupted. After we all cried out, 9 days after they exhumed it, we went from Prime Boy Fogungba, we went to air infection, we went to Prado injury, then we went to, oh, they've made me a widow, you all have made me a widow, then we went to, when MOHBAD was exhumed, the story of the nurse came up. Go and look at the sequence of events. That was when the story of the nurse came up. So you see, Osha.
Okay, so if you're through with your submission, I didn't want to.
I wasn't through. You already interjected. Okay, if you were not going to interject, you shouldn't have said anything. But go ahead, my dear.
You guys are not letting me speak, and if we continue, we'll be going back and forth. Okay. Let's now agree.
If you want to look at the timer, you have spoken a lot of time, more time than anybody else. Okay, so you are not letting, because you want your narrative to resonate.
No, you just as much as you are saying
you are not letting me speak. I am, because
see, let her speak. No talk again. Make she speak. You don't use time to talk too. I'll make you speak.
You want me to speak or
talk now, Osha? Okay. Talk.
So if you're saying affirmatively, Wunmi did this, Wunmi did that. At the end of the day, because it is your own notion about Wunmi and not
no, Osha. I want us to be talking with fact, with the best of our knowledge. She said some things. Do you agree or do you disagree? If there are areas of disagreement, so that we can all work with some facts.
In its absolute. I have a
tell us your own side of it.
Sorry, I need to mute. Sorry. I have a guest. Sorry.
Morning.
Good morning.
Because at the end of the day, Supreme is saying some things that are in the open. So if you disagree that probably Wunmi did report the nurse to the police, that this police came to my house, injected my husband, and he died, then we probably need to look for, substantial evidence that prove that. And if it is true, as Supreme said, that the police came for investigation after the body was exhumed. If police have started the investigation on the day he died, 2 days after he died, maybe we will get that. That would be basis for us to see the disagreement so that we can all agree. But if it is not, we basically need to work with available evidences of how this case went. We are not there. We work with what is in the public for us to work with. Supreme, go on and continue your consumption. I'm enjoying it.
This muting this thing is difficult. Anyway, my submission has been fragmented, but it's okay. We continue another day. Like I said, I'm entitled to my own opinion. In my own opinion, Wunmi did it, and I stay with that. Which will justice be served? I don't know. I don't know. I strongly hope MOHBAD gets justice for whoever cut his life short. I pray, I hope and pray that he gets justice. And I strongly believe if Wunmi is clean, she's fighting for Liam. She can fight for her husband. She can fight. Wunmi is a fighter. Wunmi is not. No, I disagree. Wunmi is a fighter. The nurse was not called upon. The mother of the nurse brought her herself. There was no invite, no nothing. If people want to lash onto the fact that it was the nurse that gave the injection, the nurse was completely off the picture until the mother brought the nurse herself. Come on, people. Come on. No. It's completely wrong. There is more to it. MOHBAD died in that house. It's just so convenient that MOHBAD's car was not functioning, the rail was broken, the CCTV was out, and this and that. So many coincidences. Things were just nothing actually. This is a house rented or bought 5 months ago. Things are just in disarray. Everybody's story is so fragmented. Nothing is making sense. Everybody is saying different kinds of stories. And the wife was there and her story changes. I ask you a question. I say, what do you understand by lie? Define lie, and why do people lie? People don't lie because they just want to lie. People lie because they want to cover up some certain things. Why does her story change from moment to moment? Why does she have to have changed story? The wife was there. Why not? The nurse came, injected my husband died. Why so many stories? And they don't want me to talk. This is your husband. For better, for worse. I don't get it. To me, nobody can take it away from me. The personal vendetta, what kind of personal vendetta could I have been? We are speaking law here. The law must take its course. People do die at home. People do die in their sleep. People do have an attack and whatever medical conditions you have. I was trying to talk about profuse bleeding the other time. I think MOHBAD went into a shock, hypovolemic shock, because MOHBAD sustained, he lost a lot of blood. Oh, now we're going to have to define profusely because the police wants this. These are just too convenient and coincidental. Too convenient. Where is the driver that drove them to the neighbor? Where is the CCTV of the neighbor's house? When Wunmi said she went to the neighbor's house to go and call Fidelis, I don't know, maybe I'm missing the names with the driver of the Prado, but when she said she ran out of her compound to the next compound to go and get the driver or the neighbor to help MOHBAD to the hospital. Where is that driver? Why is Wunmi not being inquisitive? Why is Wunmi not being aggressive about this? Why is she not probing? Why?
Mama was there.
That's my point. But I gotta go. We'll save it for another day.
Good morning. Before you go,
good morning.
Supreme.
Tolani, wait. Good morning. So, Supreme, I appreciate your argument. I understand you're out of this live broadcast.
She's gone.
Yeah, I appreciate her argument. However, see, when you're talking affirmatively, I will repeat, I don't think that is fair, but that is your opinion. Now, when you say that WUMMI didn't put some things in check, e.g., getting the nurse arrested, what happens to the fact that the nurse, was supposed to have been arrested and was advised to be released on that day? I wasn't there. I cannot say that for a fact, but this was said by Bella's manager in a certain comment on Instagram. Okay, let's put that aside. I believe those are key witnesses on the day when MOHBAD passed on. Okay, now there's so many things that we don't put in check, but it is convenient for people to blame WUMMI for this, WUMMI for that. There are steps that WUMMI herself had taken, and if a police investigation is ongoing, we expect so much to be blamed on WUMMI. It is convenient for us to sit down, just as much as it will be convenient for anybody to blame Baba Mohbad if they are on the other side of the fence. It is very, very convenient for all of us to apportion blames. But the truth of the matter is that when events such as, a terrible event such as this happens, do you understand? We can speak from the outside because we're not there. We're not the one in that situation at that particular point in time. You expect so much. You feel that, oh, WUMMI should be a supernatural woman. She should have done this, she should have done that. The littlest thing she could have done, which she did, everybody still find a need or reason to criticize every single thing that young lady did. Forgetting the fact that she was 24 years old at the time of the passing. When she says a truth becomes lies. You said things like, oh, well, what was the need to lie, or people lie for reasons, whatever. Do you understand? Why do you have to think that whatever she must have said is a lie? Why do you criticize every single step she must have taken? She's fighting tooth and nail for her son. Yes, every mother would, as she should. So if she wants to protect her child, by all means possible, she will. How then can we not say, why was Mohbad himself not protected? Of what point has anyone pointed the fact that these things were done, even in death, to this young man? We don't have any reasons. We don't. We're too afraid to point out the wrongdoings by both parents. So yes, WUMMI has every single right to protect her.
We are all doing that. We are doing that on our side, but it's only your side that you are just no. You just argue for WUMMI.
It's not about arguing for WUMMI.
Please, my sister, I have just
now people
3
are
minutes.
doing that.
I'm going to the library.
We're now